This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Jeff Gardner.
Welcome to another episode of the Good Neighbor Podcast. Today we have another good neighbor on, Sylvia Parks of Indian Plates and Pampered Chef. Sylvia, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Looking forward to this conversation. We were talking a little bit in the pre-show about what you do, and I love food. So let's get right into it. What is it you do, Sylvia?
Yes, so I am first and foremost an entrepreneur, and my journey started over 15 years ago with the Pampered Chef, and I was a consultant for that, which we do sell high-end kitchen tools to make your everyday cooking easier, your food prep cut in half, and taste your food delicious. And so that journey started over 15 years ago, and I can get into why in a little bit. So what I do is I sell high-end kitchen tools, I'm a meal solution solver, and with that, I combined a business with my passion for cooking and my culture, another business called Indian Plates, where I've married this, where we do interactive cooking classes, hands-on with the Pampered Chef products, and I teach how to make authentic East Indian cooking.
I love it. So are these classes online or in person? How do you go about doing
Yeah,
it?
a great question. So basically a little bit of both, but I mostly go to my client's home and I do groups of 6 or more. I come in as a private chef and I teach you how to make amazing, authentic East Indian food, as I mentioned. And what sets me apart from other people is I make my own spices. So I actually make the main mix of spice, which is called garam masala. It's my family's recipe, my mother. And no one makes it the way we do. We have over 13 spices in the one spice. Garam masala garam means warm and masala means mixture. And that is what I use. I use no curry powder in my cooking. So it's really interesting how the spices and how the food comes together. Because different regions have different types of spices. And so that's what I do. And then I use the Pampered Chef tools. And then I have the other side of the flip side of the business where everything started with Pampered Chef is I sell the kitchen tools and just have Pampered Chef parties. So I go into the homes and I do a lot of online with Pampered Chef through Facebook. And I do online Indian cooking classes. When people find me, sometimes traveling, and they want something in Chicago, I'll go online and I'll do a class for you.
Awesome. And your main demographic, the area that you serve most, were you saying Simcoe County mainly?
Oh, yeah, and I do GTA as well. Yeah, I go out to different areas. I've gone out even as far as Wyerton, 2.5 hours away. If you want me and build it, I will come to you. So, yes, I've done it all. I have lots of networks with my businesses. So people want to do it a little bit further, I will. But about an hour on average drive is what I do. And then I do make exceptions.
I love it. I do a fair bit of celebrating. I think there's a lot to celebrate in life. And I'm thinking like birthdays, work events, conferences. We're often getting, catered food and things like that. But to have a cooking class with authentic Indian style cooking, one of my favorite types of food. You're planting a lot of great ideas. But let's get into the story. There's a few questions on this show that are really fundamental for us to really get interested and curious about another person. And the journey is a very interesting part for us other humans to resonate with, because we've all been through our own journey. But so I love to ask that why question. What brought you to Pampered Chef? What brought you to Indian Plates? Like, what brought you to, really it's a two-part question, to becoming an entrepreneur? Because I have a great deal of respect for people who decide to carve their own path in life.
Yeah.
It's a hard road being an entrepreneur. I've been one for a long time. We know it's difficult. We talk to entrepreneurs all day. So what made you decide to carve your own path? And two, where does this love, I'm assuming, love come for food? What made you want to share cooking and food with other people?
Right. Great question. Yeah, it all started with the Pampered Chef. So my attitude is full of gratitude towards that company. I started as a stay-at-home mom. My kids were 13 and 15 at the time. And I hosted my own Pampered Chef party because that's what you do. So I had a consultant come to my home. And I just bought a new home. I designed it. I loved interior decorating. And I wanted some kitchen tools in my kitchen. So I decided to have a party. And the consultant asked me about the business opportunity. And I was like, it's been a while. I was a stay-at-home mom and educated and took care of my kids. I thought, it's time to get out there and make some mad money. So I started as a little hobby. And did it for a little while, and then life happens, as we know, and things change. And I became a single parent. So I wanted more, and I had to do more. So the entrepreneurship just kind of came up organically because I really, really loved working for myself. And that is what's kept me here today, is I love being my own boss. I love having that flexibility. Time is so precious. I feel that time means everything, of course, health and all those good things and family, but one thing is time. And I just think that is the best thing, is to be able to work for yourself and set your own schedule. So I continued the journey with Pampered Chef, and it wasn't easy. It was up and down like a toilet seat, as I say. And I was just trying to make it work. And so with the separation, after being with my husband for 24 years, I was very dependent on him. I didn't know what to do. So we sold our house quickly, and I had nowhere to live. And I had to find something. I found it fast, and I didn't even know what a water bill looked like. I didn't even know he had controlled everything. So I had this part-time Pampered Chef job and a couple $1,000. That's all I had. So I'm in this house today that I have purchased 13 years ago when I separated. And paid every bill. Okay. It's awesome for that. But of course, it does have its moments. And then what happened is, one day, organically, I was teaching the Pampered Chef class, and a lady asked me about Indian cooking. And I thought, that's my forte. I was born in India, New Delhi. I was raised actually in Ottawa, but I was born there. And I thought, I could do that. So she wanted some curry chicken. Sure. So I just, in my kitchen, one-on-one, did it. And from there, the business flourished. I just started to market it, talk about it in my Pampered Chef, and it just started to grow and grow. And people were loving, like yourself, love Indian food, but maybe not sure how to cook it. So I thought, why don't I put this together? Take the products, take the passion for cooking, and collaborate and make it into one, like teeter top business where I have both, right? So that's what I did, to the point where Pampered Chef was like, I want to interview you. So they found purpose. I found purpose in my life, and purpose in offering something so unique. It just melts my heart when people love my food. I just checked a Google review today just before coming on, and people are just blown away with the cooking and how tasty and delicious and how easy it is and how duplicatable it is. So I don't want to teach you something that's really hard to make you simple things like butter chicken, where people are like, I'm not really sure how to make that, but I love the butter chicken in a jar. No. My sauce, easy peasy, 5 main ingredients, and you've got amazing food that you can make on a Tuesday night. So that's what I love to teach, is that authentic, and that it's duplicatable.
I just love that story, Sylvia, to go through that hardship, to go from a life that you were conditioned to living, like you said, which I very much appreciate you sharing. That takes a great deal of courage to do that. But you're dependent on your husband to a certain extent, and had to build your own new life again. But through that, you found your passion, and then your passion drove you to increasing the quality of other people's lives, injecting joy into your audience's life. And I can see just the way you speak about it, the way your face lights up, and the energy to your tone of voice. It's just great to see how many entrepreneurs have a similar story, how they needed to go through that difficult experience to find out more who they were, their worth, and their impact on our world. I love that. So we've talked about your business a little bit. Let's get into you a little bit. We like to ask the guests on the show, what do you like to do for fun? So outside of your business, clearly you enjoy doing what you do. But what puts a smile on Sylvia's face when you're not working?
And just to go back to that, I absolutely love my work, because it doesn't feel like work, because it's all about food, wine, pairings. I love going to great restaurants. I love traveling. With the Pampered Chef, I also earn trips for free. I just got back from Punta Cana. So every year we get to earn a trip. So I love traveling, trying out great different restaurants, experiences, hanging out with my girlfriends, that kind of stuff. I'm just that happy-go-lucky. I always like socializing. I'm very social. Everything I do is got to have a little fun factor with a lot of good food. So I really want to make sure we're enjoying good food. I love to cook at home. I like to hang out at home with my daughter, and just chill and just have a nice meal. The kids are spoiled. They won't even want to go to a restaurant anymore because they want mom's cooking, right? So I'm pretty proud of that. And I'm really, really, just thrilled that I can offer such an amazing experience to people. And they're more cooking experiences than classes, because it's very entertaining as well when you have me come into your home.
Yeah, I can imagine it being a fun experience. You're getting messy with the food. You're creating something that you enjoy. You're learning a new skill, building new relationships.
Yeah.
I love all that. And I appreciate you sharing that with us. This next question, we talk about doing hard things on the show. I have all my rules for life inked onto my skin. And number 4 is to do hard things, to remind me that some of the most challenging periods of my life have resulted in the most amount of growth. I think human beings are incredibly adaptive. We have this ability to adapt to new circumstances. But I think we can only get there by doing challenging things. If it's really easy for you, your mind's going to say there's no reason to change. This is the status quo. We've already done this. But when you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, whether by choice or not, I think we now have the opportunity for a large degree of growth. So we like to ask the guests on the show, has there been any hardships, trials, and tribulations that you've been through that probably sucked in the moment, probably didn't feel so good in the moment, as we know what the symptoms are of going through a hard thing? That's why a lot of us don't like going through hard things. We seek comfort, but probably didn't feel so good in the moment. But now, when you look back on it in hindsight, you don't regret that experience. You wouldn't remove that ingredient from the recipe that is you, because it's led you to enjoying the life that you do now. Anything you're comfortable with sharing when it comes to a hardship that led to growth?
Honestly, I would probably just go back to that separation with being so dependent on another person, and it's all I ever knew. So I do want to share that my story is to empower women and to say, you know what, you can do it. I put my big girl pants on and I just had to go through it. Like I mentioned before, it was difficult. It was challenging. I had some meltdowns. I had some pity parties, but there's no growth in your comfort zone and there's no comfort in your growth zone. So by starting a business and doing the things, I couldn't even speak in front of people. I was so shy. And to start and go out there and do this Pampered Chef business and go to people's homes, strangers' homes, by all means. You start off with family and friends and then you branch off to other people's homes. And I was uncomfortable. And so I would just push through. There was the fun in it, but there was also the background skills that I needed to know, the products, the different things we offered. And honestly, the just growing from, I would have never done this business if I was still probably with my partner, my husband. So I feel like that was one of my hardships that really got me to say, you know what, you can do this. A lot of people have called me strong, kick-ass personality, out there, sociable, and I just love people and I love meeting new people. I travel, I meet people and they want me to come cook for them, and I love that. But yeah, I'd honestly say mainly that is that if you're on your own, you're not alone, because there's so many women in here. The women in my life saved my life, and I pushed through the Pampered. When I was going through separation, I had a car accident. I had a fire at a microwave in an actual party. I had, how things happen in threes. And I actually was back into my driveway and I hit my mom's car, and then someone hit my car. It was like one thing after another. It was like nothing major, minor, but it was not fun times. And you just have to roll with the punches. And I did, and I keep continuing to do so. There's change going on again in my life, in the sense that I'm purging, I'm starting over, I'm doing new things. I'm trying to grow my Indian plates business, as it is really a passion of mine that I can offer that unique experience, as I mentioned, with the spices. I'd love to get my spices on market one day. I'd love to grow a little bit more that way, and just keep going. I have that attitude of gratitude, and I just always want to put a smile on people's faces after they've enjoyed a meal and exceed people's expectations. So maybe do something down the road, and I don't know, who knows? YouTube. My sister goes, get on YouTube, start doing your own cooking classes or your cooking show. I mean, who knows?
Well, you're about to be. This is going on YouTube. No, it's a great story, Sylvia. I really appreciate you sharing that with us. I imagine that was a difficult time, and it is difficult to share difficult experiences. But I think there's so much value to be derived from sharing our shared suffering with another human being, because you will not get through life unscathed. And I think those scars, in my perspective, are scars of kind of the beauty of life, the darkness and the light. You can't get one without the other. So I think a lot of us wear them with pride, or if we don't, maybe they could. But I would ask you, because you shared a fair bit with us, what were some one or two main takeaways in regards to learning from that challenging period? What did you learn about yourself that became so valuable for now living this life that you live through that hardship?
Yeah, to be independent, really, and to be able to push through, and just to be able to do it. I was like, what am I going to do now? And I honestly, I was like, I just relied on friends and family, and I did it all myself, but for their support, like emotionally support. And honestly, I just couldn't believe that I can do all the things that I've done. Like I've been, published, I've been on radio, I've been on TV, I'm doing all the things that I would never have dreamt of doing. So actually, like, one thing I've learned is dreams do come true. And yes, I did. And I was very pessimistic. I was very like the glass is half empty kind of person. And now I'm a very positive, a very, optimistic person. And I believe anything is possible. And that is where my emotions, because of what I've been doing, meeting so many people, it's just opened up my eyes to the sense that anything is possible. And that was my biggest takeaway.
Huge takeaway, right? I mean, when you can go from a limited mindset to a mindset of abundance, like I can do whatever I set my mind to, because human beings really don't have much of a limit. If you're willing to take yourself there, your body and mind will follow. It's a pretty incredible thing. So that's a hell of a takeaway. Sylvia, back to business a little bit. After all of you've learned, spending all this time in this culinary world, whether through products or the creation of food and going to people's homes and teaching them. So you're creating the food, you're teaching them, and you're sharing with them the tools in which to use to create it. So it's this multidisciplinary approach that you're taking. What is one thing you wish our audience knew about what you do?
Honestly, I really, want them to know that this can be for any time of your life. It doesn't have to be a special occasion, which you'd mentioned earlier. I want to be able to come to your house because you want to go out for dinner and you just want someone to come in and have a great meal. You don't have to always cook with me. It's just hands-on, but you don't have to. I want you to know this is for any time that you want to go to a restaurant, have me come in because it's easy. What I want people to understand is it's easy. And one of the main things about my business is gathering people and bringing people together. So when people want to go out and socialize and do that, just have me come to you and I can make it a beautiful experience with, 6 or more, it doesn't matter, come together. I really want them to feel like it's easy and that it's not a big deal and that it's not going to break the bank. And I can come, and I'm a very flexible schedule too. So I just want to make sure people realize it doesn't have to be just for a birthday.
Yeah, no, I love that. So any time of year, simple, easy, not stressful.
Yes.
And enjoyable experience.
Something different as well, for sure. And I do also offer fusion. I'm doing an Italian Indian fusion class as well. So I do offer a little bit outside the box, something new I'm trying. It's happening soon. And yes, so I'm very excited to do something with mixing a little bit of different culinary appetite. So
it's beautiful. I love it. You're planting a lot of seeds here, Sylvia. We have a lot of people in my little sphere that love to eat and eat from home. We love our restaurants, but we love to eat from home too. So I really like that.
And it's healthier too. Sorry. It's healthier too. I don't use butter in my butter chicken. I should actually call it my butterless butter chicken. So that's another thing I do want to mention is it's also very healthy, not lots of oils and feeling like your digestive system has just gone on a roller coaster. I'm also very mindful of that.
Which is huge for me because fitness is the foundation for my life. I'm very particular with my food, certain macros, where's the food coming from? So very intentional about my food.
Like same thing as my son. He's all about that. And I've also been going to the gym all my life too. So that's something else I also do, yoga, mind, body, soul, body balance. Yes, cycling class.
I love it. Yeah, well, you certainly have the energy to meet that. So I love it. It's amazing when people do things they enjoy and they treat their body and mind in a way that it needs to be treated. You can just see that that jubilance about them. They're just joyful. They're just positive. They radiate positive energy, and you certainly do. So this question, I leave out of the questionnaire because I want people to not script it. And it's one of my favorite questions to ask. So there's a handful of things that I talk about on these shows. I only have a few practices in my life. There's only a few things that I study. I talk about entrepreneurship, talk about health and wellness, talk about mentorship, scaling businesses, human connection, things like that. But one of the main things I love talking about is impact. I met a mentor at a young age, early 20s. She's had a great impact on my life. She's still in my life today and still has a great influence over me. Certainly changed the trajectory of my life. And one of the things that she taught me that I think about often now and have for many years is my impact. She taught me that you are born, you will die one day. What is the middle piece going to equate to? What impact are you having on your community, your family, yourself, the world? So she taught me to be very intentional about my actions, my decisions, and what I wanted to create in this life. She taught me to reflect on my impact up to this point. She taught me to be intentional about my impact for today because I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. That the time given to me is very much out of my control. I can control to a certain extent what I do with the time given to me, but to be aware that time is being given to me. I'm not creating time myself. And then she taught me, forever long you are going to be here, what would you like your impact to be? So essentially, again, you're born, you die. What do you want the middle to be? So we like to ask the guests on the show, Sylvia, what would you like your impact to be?
I would say inspirational. I would love to inspire people and tell them that anything is possible, and that if they just put their mind and heart to something that they love, that they would be able to do anything they ever wanted to do. So I have living proof, and one of the things again is I'm helping people in their kitchens. It might be a small little thing, but it's also a huge thing. We all eat, right? So being inspirational, inspiring them with recipes, inspiring them with great kitchen tools, just inspire people and have the courage to ask. I think that's a big thing too, is that people are always so shy and not sure what to, I've always taught my kids, have the courage to ask anything. And so I would like to leave that little footprint with being inspiring, with their life, and knowing that they can do anything they want. And I'm living proof. And I also help people start their businesses. So I have the power to change people's lives, one step at a time, because this businesses, but this one business, Pampered Chef, changes people's lives, and it's changed mine. And I'm so grateful again for Pampered Chef. I owe everything to Pampered Chef. And it's so much more than just selling these kitchen tools. I have a team, inspire them, believe in them. Belief, that's another one. Belief is huge. Believing in yourself and knowing you can do anything as well.
I love it. Just a beacon for inspiration. That's quite a choice of impact, Sylvia. It's great.
Thank you.
What is the best way to connect with you, Sylvia? If people want to reach out, how do they do that?
Yeah, many different ways. So I'm on social handles. I'm on Instagram, chef.sylvia. I'm also on the flip side of 2 Instagrams, Indian Plates by Sylvia. I also have my LinkedIn. I've got Facebook, email, cell. I don't know if you want me to type.
Yeah, what's your email, Sylvia? That's a good way to reach out, right?
It's sylviaparks6@yahoo.ca, not .com. And then Facebook, it's just Sylvia Parks. I'm just wearing a red chef coat. And then my 2 Instagram accounts, still pretty much on Facebook more than anything. But I know Instagram's more popular, but I'm a little old school. Sure. So I kind of do that. But yeah, and I have a website, indianplates.ca. Okay, simple as that. And you can, I'm also doing trade shows. I do other vendor events, things like that, to get my name out there. So I also participate in things at that venue.
I love it. So the website was indianplates.ca?
Yes, it was.
And then the main social platform you're on is Facebook, which is Sylvia Parks.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. So easy to look up, easy to find. Well, it was a pleasure speaking to you, Sylvia. I think what I got from this is a couple of things, is that humans can do hard things and come out even better at the other side, which is clear from your journey. What belief in your own self-worth can result in your own life. Again, you just seem so passionate about what you do, and that ripples out, and that is infectious to other people, to inspiring them, and inspiration in and of itself. When we can live a life of something that we really enjoy, we really value, we are a beacon to other people. I like the metaphor of a lighthouse. A lighthouse just does its job very, very well, shining a light to guide people along their path. It's how I've interpreted this conversation with you, is you seem that way to me. And it's just been a pleasure speaking to you. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate your time. And yes, let's definitely chat, and let's do some cooking.
Awesome. I love it. Sylvia, you have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Midhurst. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpmidhurst.com. That's gnpmidhurst.com, or call 705-413-3775.